Hi, everyone. Welcome to Guggenheim Internships Program Summer 2023 info session. I'm Lindsay Granger Weaver from Beyond Barnard. I use she, her pronouns, and really excited to talk to you all about this program. Welcome Barnard folks, Columbia folks, one of our few joint programs. I'm excited to have you all here. Plenty of time to answer questions, and let's get started. So today, I'm going to do a program overview, pretty high level, but hopefully with enough detail to get you all thinking about this. Going over the application process and expectations, it is a little different than some other processes, especially if you are a Barnard student. We will hopefully have insights from past fellows. I don't see any of them in the participants list right now, but if they pop in, we will. If not, we'll just have a longer Q&A. And then, questions and next steps. So the Guggenheim Program is a donor-funded summer internship program. Unlike other programs that, especially we here at Beyond Barnard run, where you go off and find your own internship and then we fund it. This is actually through some partner programs, partner organizations. We've got 4 confirmed for next summer, which is great. I'll go over what who those folks are in a little bit. But this program is administered by Princeton. And so the internships are split between Princeton and Barnard and Columbia, specifically Columbia College and the School of General Studies. And it's for students interested specifically in criminal justice, which is very broad, but also a very specific type of law. Unfortunately, graduating seniors are not eligible to apply, but if you are a Barnard student who is also graduating senior, you can apply civil lineman fellowship for public interest law, which is similar, but a little different. And so the benefits of the program, you get a $6,000 stipend for the summer. If you are at Barnard, you are eligible for subsidized housing. Columbia, you might be. We're working on that. Stay tuned. The internship is 10 to 12 weeks. That is kind of the window for that stipend amount. And it can be in-person, hybrid, or remote. Last year, we had a mix of all 3. Pro tip, the in-person folks had a lot more fruitful of an experience. And I know in looking through a few of the partner programs, the partner internships who have actually given their job descriptions to me, there is a mix of in-person, going to court, in-person in office, and then also some remote. So they tend to be hybrid. There also are plenty of opportunities to connect with both the Guggenheim cohort here at Barnard Columbia via some monthly programming and check-ins, also usually bringing in the Lyman fellows as well, because you're all law folks. And then also Princeton, they have check-ins, they'll have workshops. They also last summer planned a trip to Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. I know this summer, in speaking to the coordinators there, they're planning to have more robust events now that more things are open and in person. And so that's really exciting. And then you also get a connection to a network of peers and professionals. This program's been around for a while. There are quite a few folks on these campuses and out in the world doing criminal justice work who are past Guggenheim fellows, Guggenheim interns. And so you're able to connect to them and able to kind of meet up with them, get some mentoring, get some networking, and really boost yourself in this career path that way. So as you can see, there are a lot of really great benefits to this program. So how to apply and receive these benefits. So the first part of the application is going to be to review the internship descriptions from partner sites. The application is currently being developed in Qualtrics. If any of you applied last year, we had Google Forms, and you may remember the fun time we had navigating that system together. And so it's being made in Qualtrics, but all of the job descriptions will be in there. These are the partner organizations right now. We may get another 1 or 2 before the application opens, but these are pretty solid. And Getting Out, Staying Out, Midtown Community Court, and the Osborne Association were all partners last year and had really great experiences all around. Bronx Defender Services, couldn't do it last year, but they're excited to have an intern this year. So as you read over them, decide which ones you would like to apply to. You cannot apply to more than 2. You can choose to just apply to 1. They are very different opportunities. So be sure to read them as you would any other job application, thinking about what you want out of the position, thinking about if your things you want to do and the causes that you care about align with that specific organization. So doing that research, select 2. And then complete the application, which is just going to be your personal information, typical application fare, a 1-page resume, cover letters that are specific to the organizations. So we don't want general things. It's not a personal statement where you talk about your interest in criminal justice. You want to really treat these again as job applications. And so write the cover letters individual to each site. And then 3 professional references. They don't have to be letters, just name, contact information, a relationship to you. All of this gets packaged and sent to the partner sites that you've applied to. And then from there, they make the decisions. So this is the application timeline. It will open in January. We're targeting the first week of classes for that. It was going to be sooner, but you all need a break. And so we can kind of like take that winter break to think about things, to even look up these organizations if you know that you're going to apply, see which ones may be interesting to you. That's when it opens. It will close in February, usually about 3 weeks after it opens is when we close applications. And then we'll send them over to the partner organizations. And so the deadlines we're giving them are mid-March, ideally before spring break, so that you all can again have a break. They will have interviews, and these are, treat these as job interviews if you are selected to interview. Some will interview everybody, but most times they kind of narrow it down at that point. But use it as a time to think about, again, is this going to be a good program for you, a good site for you? If you prefer one certain type of experience, say if you want to do more investigative work than court appearances, see if that's going to be available, if that's going to be an option. Really do your due diligence so that you know that this will be a fruitful experience. And then by early April is when we're telling the internship sites to let us know. They're able to take up to 2 interns. Some will take 1, depending on the pie, depending on the applicants that they get. And then they'll let us know who they are. And then we'll reach out to you to see that, the offers are being made. And then you tell us who you want to work for, and then we proceed. So that's the big picture. If Anna or Elon are here, I don't see either of you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
This is Ilan. Hi.
How are you?
Hi, good. Thanks for asking.
Okay, so welcome. I think you're rolling solo here today. So just gonna hear a little bit about your experience at Midtown Community Court, and then we'll open it up to questions from everyone.
Sure.
Else.
Sure, glad to share. Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I would say the experiences working in Midtown Community Court is really a great experiences, and it's really a great opportunity. So I'll kind of focus more on the experiences, and then I will kind of talk about the application process. If anyone have any question, just stop me and I'll answer any question. So for the experiences part, I think two best part is about the people and also the connection. So I'm interested in criminal justice, and Midtown Community Court is really I would say they bring up a really new innovative way, and they are focusing more on the innovative way to kind of help their fellows, especially the fathers who don't have the rights to kind of help their children or something like that. And then I will also say it will be a 2 months experiences, and it will be either in person or you can have like hybrid work model. But in the experiences, you will kind of not only know more people who have professional experiences in the field, especially criminal justice, but you will also get to know more about how the court system was there in New York. So I would say that's why I would definitely recommend like anybody who is interested in criminal justice to apply to this program. And for the application process, I think that is really straightforward. Just be yourself and show your interest. I think the people reviewing the like materials is really cool. So just be yourself is okay, I think.
Yeah, Midtown Community Court is a really interesting site out of, I think, all the ones that we partner with, because there are so many programs within the umbrella of Midtown Community Court that you have the opportunity to see a lot of really interesting facets of the court system in New York. Do you have any advice for applicants outside of just be yourself? Or is there anything that you maybe wish you knew about working in criminal justice that you know now?
Yeah, of course. So I would say for the application process, I think rather than be yourself, it's really important to kind of doing some research on the program, because like as you mentioned, like for the Midtown Community Court, they have a big like CCI umbrella, and the Midtown Community Court is one of their projects. So I think it's really important to kind of see what they are doing and show that in the cover letter, because I think that's what they are focusing in the interview process. They want you to know why you want to be here. So I would say a research of this program is really important. And because it also helps you to like kind of make you understand why you want to choose this program, like because there are so many projects that you can choose in the Guggenheim like process. And I think another thing I wish I would know before I've been there, I'm not pretty sure. I think like one thing I can say is that just like learn more about criminal justice like before you actually enter the field, so you can be more well prepared, and then you can bring up like your perspective to the program.
Yeah, that's great advice. Thanks. So are there questions from anyone in the crowd? You can either raise your hand, come off mute, and chat, DM, all avenues are open. All right, see a hand. Nazira?
Yes, hi, thank you. I wanted to ask can you share a little bit about what type of work that you did during your internship? Or maybe what was like the most interesting part of your work?
Yeah, I think the most interesting part of the work is to actually have the real experiences with working with the professionals. So basically in the program, you will need to like, because they have different groups, so you will be able to kind of really have the experiences of working in the courts. I would say, because from my understanding, it really depends on the team you are in. So that I think you can talk to like your supervisor to let them know your interest, so they can kind of partner you with different project and different team inside the court, so then you can have a better experiences. But I think mostly just working with the people there is so interesting, because you can just get to know who have like, to those who have real experiences, and all of the like alumni there they have kind of worked with this field for so many years. So I would say that is a really interesting part. And hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Any other questions? Just shout them out. Or put them in the chat.
I've got one, Lindsay, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Just another Beyond Barnard staff member here. Can you talk a little bit about ways that like the cohort gets to interact of students that are selected? Did my question come through?
I can answer that.
Oh yeah.
If you're asking me, or if you're asking the student.
Oh, I guess it could be for either of you. Yeah.
It's fine. And so we would have, so within the Guggenheim cohort specifically, there were chances to interact with both the folks here and then via virtual meetings that were once a month. And we brought in the Lyman Fellows as well, just to talk. A lot of it was just talking about what they're doing, talking about maybe issues that they're having at their internships, talking through, because this work is really challenging. It can be personally taxing. And so we kind of held that space to decompress from really difficult criminal justice, public interest types of law. And, you know, how to make the most of the process, how to find mentors in the field. And so they're very open-ended interactions just within the cohorts, because you don't want to add too much structure on top of very structured programs. Also, every intern who comes through, who is, you know, part of our office, are added to, you know, invited to other programming as well. We run a lot of events here at Barnard, as you know. But for Guggenheim specifically, the program folks at Princeton put together orientations that brought all of the groups together, and then also field trips and virtual networking nights. So those are some of the ways last summer. And like I said, they're going to add a lot more and hopefully do more in person this summer, since most of their interns are also in New York City. Direct message, can we get the recording and PowerPoint slides? Yes, you can. We'll send those out once the recording's processed. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll send out links to the recording and also to the slides. I have a question for you, Elon. What made you choose to apply to Midtown Community Court? Like, what sorts of things were you looking for in an experience?
Yeah, I'm sure. So the reason why I choose the Midtown career and why Guggenheim is that I really want my summer experiences to be more helpful, not only to my career, but also kind of helpful to my whole college experiences. And I think that because I'm really interested in criminal justice, and I do feel like Guggenheim and Midtown community is a great opportunity that can connect me as a college sophomore to some of the criminal justice fields professional to kind of learn about their real experiences. And I feel like that part of the connection is a really valuable experiences, because honestly, being a college sophomore at the time when I apply, I just want to learn more about the professional things and the criminal justice field. And I don't really have lots of previous experiences. So I feel like that should be the places I started to learn more about the field and to really ask me the reason why I want to be in the field.
Oh, that's great. Did working this past summer through this program solidify your interests, or did it change it? Sometimes we get different answers there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely helped me to really understand I am really interested in the field, because the experience is there. It's just, I would say I just like the experiences there. I can't really give more reason about that. I feel like some places you just be there and you just feel like you are in that part. So I would say for anyone who is interested in criminal justice, it's a really great experiences for you to kind of start a career and start to explore and start to know about anybody who is in the field, so that they can also give you some suggestions on how to really understand how everything works. And I hope this answers the question.
Yeah, for sure. It's really great that because not all internships should do that. It should give you a sense of the field and connect you more with folks who are in it and help you get a better sense of yourself and maybe the space you would like to occupy within that field. But not all of them do. So it's good to hear that sounds like you really made the most of last summer, and that was positive. Are there any questions or thoughts from any of our participants about this, or even about the application process or about the other organizations? This is really this, and then at the very end they can answer more, but if you have questions for right now. About how many applicants are there? Answering one in the chat, and then I'll open it up again. About how many applicants are there annually? So last year we had about 160 applicants for 8 internship spots. That's pretty typical. It was actually a little high, but that is kind of on track given the interest in these, looking at the forums and looking at, the registrations for these kinds of events. And so it is pretty competitive, as most things are here at Barnard and Columbia. More direction on the kinds of references we should have. So they should be professional references, people who so they can be professors, but ideally would be maybe a former supervisor from an internship or a job, a club supervisor, something like that, somebody who can speak to how you are at work, because that's what these organizations are looking for. They want to know, who you are. That's why they interview you, but they also want people who can co-sign who you are and who can talk about, how you behave at work, the type of work that you do, how professional you are, what your personality is like, things like that. And so if those people who know you are professors, it could be folks you've done research with, or perhaps somebody who can talk about your interest in criminal justice from an academic sense. That could be maybe one, but I think at least 2 should be some kind of professional reference. Again, the competitiveness depends on the amount of applications, amount of folks who actually apply, and how good those applications are. Last year, it was very competitive because it was a high volume of very good applications. I know that the intern host sites did have relayed, it was like a good problem that they had, but had a really tough time making decisions, to the point where one actually reached out. They had said that they wanted 1, but actually upped it to 2 because they had so many great applicants that they wanted to bring another person on. And that typically is possible. We can fund up to 2 per site, but it's tough. And so it's something that when you apply, just like when you apply to anything, you really have to put your best foot forward, because it's not a guarantee based on the quality and also the fit of the program. Slide about the application process. Yes, I can. So that's the application. That's the application right there. Okay. So in looking at this, you can start to do some research on these programs, on these organizations, see what they're about. They're all about different types of things. I think Midtown Community Court is one, as we said, that has a constellation of services available. And then the others are more focused on one specific thing. More questions? I'm just checking the chat really quick. Right, so move forward, but again, there's really only one slide. So the next steps from here would be to fill out the interest form if you have not done so, or fill it out again if you're still interested. And then finish the semester strong. It's been another rough road, but we're all here. Take a break at the end of the semester, please do. Step away from the computers, kind of like chill for a little bit, and then check your email for updates. So we'll let you know when the application deadlines are solidified. You'll know that when the application is open. You'll also see, before that, you'll get the recording and slides. And yes, in the chat, Beyond Barnard can help with the application if you're a Barnard student. Center for Career Education and the Office of Undergraduate Research and Fellowships at Columbia can also help you with your applications. Definitely take advantage of, if you're a Barnard student, the PCAs who can go over the resumes and the cover letters. At Center for Career Education, there are the drop-in hours and you can make an appointment with an advisor. And so you can make those now for January if you are ambitious and know that you're going to apply and you want to make sure that you get a spot. But yes, you're not alone in these applications. You're definitely have the resources available on our respective campuses so that you can do well, and then you can get some feedback and it can do even better. But this should link to the form. If it doesn't, then email Beyond Barnard and it should. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Lane, for answering the questions and really talking to us about your experience. And here, if there are still questions about any of this.
Oh yeah, I have a quick
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
With the references, are they just like the name and like phone number, or email, or is it like a reference letter?
It's just the contact information.
Okay,
So name, email is probably better, email, phone, and
For
then just
sure.
their relationships with their former supervisor, if they're a professor, just so that when the organization reaches out, they can kind of make that connection for them.
Awesome. And then with that, would you recommend putting a professor in there, or if you have three professional, like if you have three professional representatives, should I stick with professional, or would you recommend like putting a professor in there as well?
I recommend as many professional references as possible. So if you have three, then those three would be ideal.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I see the participant list getting smaller and smaller. So thank you all again for coming. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and check your emails because we'll be in there. So have a good rest of the day, rest of the semester, and rest of the year.
Thank you.
Thanks.